How's it going, guys? King of the fourth quarter here, and I'm bringing you guys a video, something that you guys have been requesting since pretty much the release of 2K16. You guys have been asking me to rebuild teams, and I'm like, you know what? I think it's time. You know, it took me a while. I had to get familiar with the MyLeague and my GM in 2K16, but here we are rebuilding the Sacramento Kings. And in this first minute or so, you're going to see a ton of trades from me, because the only guy on this team that I felt like was untouchable, as you can guess, is DeMarcus Cousins. So the first trade we trade Rajon Rondo for Kemba Walker, just because Rondo's on his 1-year deal. He's not a threat offensively. I'd much rather have Kemba, because Kemba is a beast, man. He's a guy I always try to trade for when I'm rebuilding teams, because he's a point guard that can go out and give you 20, and then he can help you win a lot of games. So you saw right there, we made another trade. We picked up Derek Favors, then we picked up Rodney Hood. So we are just moving as many pieces as we can. So the starting lineup right now is Kemba Walker, Rodney Hood, Rudy Gay, Derek Favors, and DeMarcus Cousins. And that quick, in just 2 or 3 trades, I feel like I put together a team that can definitely make the playoffs. The next thing we did was sign David Lee, just because I wanted a backup power forward that can complement Willie Cauley-Stein just a little bit, because Willie Cauley-Stein, as we all know, is not the best offensively, but David Lee does have some offensive, abilities in there. So I was like, you know what, I think it's time to go into the season. So I just did it 1 month at a time, and then you'll see here, 1 month into it, I was not happy. We were 10-9, and I was like, you know what, that's not good enough for the team that we have now. I thought this was a team that could definitely go in there and win a championship. So I'm going to move some more pieces. The objective of this is to win a championship as fast as possible. So you saw me trade my first round pick. I'm not looking to get rookies. I want to get players that have proven themselves. So we picked up Nicholas Batum and Al Jefferson, and you thought to yourself, that's way too many centers, Boogie Cousins, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Al Jefferson. But the next thing on my list is to trade Al Jefferson. I'm flipping players, trying to get this team as best as possible. And right here, I see this trade. It was a no-brainer for me. Caron Butler and Al Jefferson for Kevin Love, and that was just big for me. That was really, really big. So now we have Derek Favors and Kevin Love sharing that power forward position. And luckily for us, we're playing MyLeague, so people aren't going to complain about their minutes. So Kevin Love is coming off our bench. He's still getting 30 minutes a game, so he's still getting a bunch of minutes. Like, he's getting starter type minutes, but coming off the bench. We're at All-Star break. You can see right here, we only have 17 losses, and I was like, man, this is definitely a team I feel like can go out there and win a championship. So I decided to not make any more trades. I'm like, you know what, I think our team is nice, it's stacked, our bench is really well-rounded. I was like, it's time to just go into the playoffs. So we're going to simulate to the end of the season. Hopefully we can keep a pretty high seed, and here are the season awards. Damian Lillard won MVP, which is crazy because the guy didn't even make the All-Star game this year. And you can see all the stats, all the league awards. The Portland Trail Blazers won 3 awards that won MVP, Most Improved Player, and Coach of the Year. So they really went out there and kind of did their thing. And you see we have no Sacramento Kings player on any team, any all-defensive team, any all-NBA team. And that was cool with me. It doesn't really matter. But we are finally here in the playoffs. And one thing I always do, no matter what team I'm playing with, no matter, like, I always do this, where I kind of make the rotation shorter. So in the regular season, I had a 10-man rotation, and it worked out really well. But in the playoffs, you really need your starters to play as many minutes as possible. So right here, I'm trying to figure out, should I have Sheldon Mack or Pablo Piccioni just be the guy with no minutes? Because you saw Sheldon Mack, he's actually injured right now. So I was like, you know what? Should we give him the minutes? Even though he's injured, but he's better. So I was kind of toying around with the rotation, but ultimately we let Sheldon Mack do his thing. So we are in our first round of the playoffs. We finished with a record of 52-30. So I thought that was pretty decent. We in that 4-5 matchup. So we get out of round 1, and we're going against the #1 team in the West, which is the Portland Trail Blazers, the team that won Coach of the Year, has the MVP, and the Most Improved Player. So I was kind of startled a little bit. I was like, you know what? I don't know what to expect. So I look at their roster, and their roster still isn't great. I don't know how they ended up being the #1 seed. They did trade for Marcin Gortat, but other than that, they have the same exact team that they do in real life. So I was like, you know what? Maybe we can defeat this #1 seed. So that's exactly what we're trying to do. And it goes down to the wire, man. This is definitely a series for the ages. It just kept going back and forth. And I end up simcasting this game right here just because it may be the one that we end up winning and we get to the next round. So I try to speed it up as fast as possible. But you can see we do have a lead. It's getting really close. But ultimately, what we're going to do is we're going to go out there and get a W. So we will be moving on to the next round. So in 1 year, we've made this team better. The Sacramento Kings, a team that is like on the verge of not making the playoffs this year. We've already made them come to the Western Conference Finals, and we're going against the Memphis Grizzlies, a team that I feel like we are better than for sure. So I'm trying to get through it as fast as possible. I want to get the sweep. We'll see if that really happens. And you see the Cavs end up advancing really fast, man. They end up just beating everybody in the East. What I really expected from the Cavs. I mean, the Cavs are great. And then right here, it's getting close. I end up simcasting this game because it could be the elimination game. And we were down pretty much all this game. And the boys fought back, and they fought back hard. And we end up taking this series. Kemba, the reason I traded for him, the guy put up 30, and that was exactly what we needed. So we are in the championship. The finals in one season, we've made it to the finals. They don't have Kevin Love, we have Kevin Love, but you can see we're down 3-1 and we get eliminated. That's how fast it was. We lost 4-1, and I transitioned. I pretty much didn't show you guys any of the offseason. We traded our first round pick really early. We didn't sign any huge names. We did pick up Courtney Lee, Tyler Johnson, and one other player, Lance Thomas, just because we needed a little more bench depth. But I think our team is better now. People have progressed. Their overalls have jumped up a bit. Boogie Cousins has jumped from, I think he was a 91, and now he's like a 93. So I was like, you know what? Let's go right to the All-Star break, and that's exactly what we did. And we decided, like the team decided to just tear the league up. We're looking at our averages right now. Everybody's playing really well. Everybody that I want to score a lot of points have actually done it. And then I was thinking at this point in the season, like, we're leading the league, and our record is the best in the league. And I was like, we could be better. We could be better. This was my year. I went all out. So right before the trade deadline, we traded Lance Thomas for TJ Warren. Lance Thomas is a very quality player, but I was like, you know what? We need a little more offense coming off our bench. And one thing TJ Warren can do is score the basketball. In one last trade before we get into the offseason, I traded Shelvin Mack for Patty Mills, so another backup point guard that's actually can play a little better. And the team looks a lot better now. So we decided to have Kevin Love start at power forward over David or over Derek Favors, and I think that actually helped us a lot. Ended up 63 wins on the season. You see most valuable player, of course, going to Steph Curry in year 2. Ben Simmons winning Rookie of the Year. 6th Man of the Year goes to Michael Carter-Williams. You guys can read the rest. I was really excited going into this offseason. We won Coach of the Year. We picked up Jason Kidd in the offseason, and we won Coach of the Year with him. I was like, you know what? This is the year. We thought it was the year last year, but our team is so much better. We've progressed as people. We've progressed as a team. We got a new coach. George Karl was all right, but now we have Jason Kidd, who by 2K standards are a lot better. So this first round was really scary, man. I was like, this can't be happening. It went all the way down to the wire. This is a team we beat in the first round last year. The Clippers really came out there. I decided to change the rotation just a little bit because we almost got eliminated. We almost got eliminated in the very first round with the best record in the league. And I changed the rotation up a little bit, and you can see what's going to happen. We actually end up getting out of this first round, man. It was really close. I would have been upset, man. I really would have been upset. Actually, the goal of this is to win a championship in 3 years. So if I didn't win this year or next year, then the video would just stop, and then I'd have to come back to it later. I want to see what teams you guys want me to do next. Like the Kings was really fun. They had a lot of pieces. That's why I started here. They had a lot of pieces that were good, and I can turn into great players. So it's kind of easy. Honestly, these first 2 years were really easy. Right here, we just blew the Clips out. And after that, I was like, you know what? We are going to be unstoppable for the rest of the playoffs. And you see, we sweep the Portland Trail Blazers. It was really sweet. 142 points put up by the team. The next game is against the OKC Thunder. You guys know they still have Russell, they still have KD, and I want to say they have DeAndre Jordan now. So they have a nice or better big three than like with Serge. I don't know if Serge was still there in this series, but it didn't really matter. We advanced to the championship. So I'm like, you know what? I think this may be the year. We see right there that the Brooklyn Nets actually make the championship. And I look at their roster, that is not a championship roster. How did they make it this far? I have no idea. But I was like, you know what? This could be an easy championship for us. So I was kind of stoked when I looked at their roster and saw that they pretty much have the same team. So we're just going to go out there, sim all these games. We get up 3-0, and I was like, we got to simcast this last one. If we can finish the sweep off in the championship, it'll be dope. So right here, we're going to simulate the game. We'll simcast it. I'm kind of slowing it down just a little bit so you guys can watch it a little better. And then we kind of pull away. In that late second quarter, early third quarter, we just pull away, and there was no going back, guys. It looks like we're going to be a champion really quick, man. 2 years is all it took to turn around the Sacramento Kings. This is not meant to be realistic. This is like a lot of the trades that I did would never happen in real life. But this is just me having a lot of fun rebuilding the team. And you can see the score right here in this final game. I decided to put it in there just because I wanted you guys to see the award ceremony when we get the championship. It sucks that we couldn't do it in Sacramento. We should have lost this next game. We should have lost game 4 and had game 5 going Sacramento. But we win the championship here in Brooklyn, man. It was pretty fun. This was really, really fun for me. I really enjoyed making this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave it a like as always. You should let me know what team I should do next. I want to get through all 30. But I want to do it in some order that you guys would like. So the Sacramento Kings are first. Who should be my next team to rebuild? You see me win the championship in just 2 years. Can anybody beat that? I have no idea. Let me know if you can beat that. It's the king of the fourth quarter. Thanks so much for watching.